It's another original BW Sports One production.
Pew pew.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Combat Zone here on BW Sports One, talking with the fighters with Southern Indiana Combat Productions, first inaugural ever best show coming to Evansville Coliseum. MMA is back, and now we are welcoming Mr. John Griffin. What is going on, my brother? How we doing?
Hey, how's it going? Oh,
Good,
not much.
good.
We just got a lot of stuff going on at our new gym. We just moved downtown from our east side location, and I'm super excited about everything that's going on, which is why I'm super happy to have this fight. It's kind of like kicks off the new era.
There you go. There you go. Yes, Circle City is finally in the Circle City instead of on the outskirts of kind of in the middle of nowhere where there used to be. I actually used to train a little bit at MMA Fit Club with Jay back in the day before he took over and moved it out of East Washington Square Mall into Fortville, McCordsville, Greenfield,
Yeah,
whatever one it
yeah,
was right there. Um, so, John,
that's really
tell
cool. I didn't know that.
yeah, man. It's been a while. Years have passed and a little weight has gained, but you know what? We're still
Hey,
going good.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So tell everybody in the BW Sports One world, what John Griffin came from. What's his bio? What the background of your MMA and combat sports career?
So I started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was about 20 years old in Terre Haute, Indiana, at McVickers Martial Arts Academy. I was there for a while. Eventually things happened in my life that pushed me to the city, and I've been friends with Ian Pomfret and did some cross training with Circle City guys, and it just got the stars aligned, and we made it happen, and we got a great team together now. I mean, they were
Oh,
always a great team, but they needed a 155er.
there you go. There you go. So 155, you are the featured fight on the pro card against Hussein Hmood. Before we get to that fight talk, tell me a little bit about you've had about a 2.5 year layoff of competing at least in MMA. What have you been doing the past 2.5 years since that last MMA fight?
Well, I had kind of a rough beginning to my pro career, and I had to kind of learn how to be a professional fighter. That was a three fight skid's not the best thing. I'm like, oh no, I dedicated my life to this. What am I going to do? Just had to go back to the drawing board and start over. Different habits, making it a lifestyle, not choosing to be all in instead of just one foot in and one foot out. So I
Absolutely.
dedicated an entire part of my life that is just now for fighting. I can finally do this full time. I am a professional fighter.
Nice. We love to hear that, and like you said, the mental part of being halfway into, especially combat sports. Not only for one can cause obviously losses, but also can get people hurt if they're not into it fully. Obviously, you've been training with a good gym. You've had good training partners. And, you mentioned Ian Pomfret. He's widely known in the Coliseum combat zone area or era of things, and Mark Slater being part of Southern Indiana Combat Productions is kind of bringing some of those Coliseum combat guys in. So, what are you thinking of this upcoming fight with Hussein? Compared to anybody else that you fought, what are you looking for as being the keys to victory for yourself?
I think I'll have more experience than him. I've looked at his record. Even at amateur, I have twice as many fights as him. He's had a longer layoff than I have, and before this MMA fight, I competed at the High Rollers 420 Open in Vegas, and then I just fought a pro kickboxing fight about 2 months ago. So I shook all my ring rust off, and I've checked little check marks along the way to see what's working, what's not, what things I need to change. I've gotten a chance to fix all those problems, and now I have the opportunity to put all of that on display October 22nd.
Yep, as you mentioned, October 22nd, back in the Veterans Coliseum in Evansville. It's been a wild ride since Evansville has seen some MMA back at the Coliseum from the hook and shoot days. of
Yeah,
old. That's
definitely.
I remember going down and seeing some of my friends fight in that. I just stayed around the Indiana or the Indianapolis scene. Never really made it much of anything other than a hobby, and it was fun while it lasted. But you can only get kicked in your knee so many times before it tears it up. And I said I'm done with that. So hats off to you and everybody else that still does it, and your body allows you to
Yeah.
do it while you
Well, if you
can.
asked me a couple months ago, I told you I was never gonna do it again. I got ready to come back actually last October and suffered a hernia, in
Hmm.
training, and then had to have a surgery, and there was a delay on my surgery because of the shortage in hernia mesh because of COVID. So I
Oh,
got hurt in August, but didn't have my surgery until November, and that really took made it longer for recovery, longer for everything to get back to normal.
so you think it was just a working through your mentality on the mental side of things? Obviously, physically you had to recover and all that, but it does sound like it kind of took a toll on the mental stage of things. Do I want to continue doing this? I want to continue things doing this to my body? And that's what fighters think about. So kind of what in that method decided and clicked in your mind saying, you know what, I'm going to continue on this and become that pro fighter that I want to be.
Well, I had gotten a job that I got really comfortable in, and I was making enough money, and it was a good enough life that I was like, okay, I can do this. And then in March, burst into flames. My job burned down, and I took that as a sign from like divine intervention that like, God just or whoever said, I made you for this, Jonathan. Get out of that warehouse and go fight. Here's some free money.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Well, hey, things happen for mysterious reasons, but they do happen for reasons. And I'm glad to see you stepping back in there, getting ready to take on Hussein in the pro fights down in Southern Indiana Combat Production. So, before we kind of let you go here, we got something called Rapid Knockout. I'm going to give you three questions. Has really nothing to do with your fighting and or anybody else around you's fighting. You don't have to like spit them all out, but let me hear some of these answers, and it's going to be a fun time. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Question number one, Jonathan. What's your favorite food?
Barbecue ribs.
Barbecue ribs. Okay, so do you cook them yourself? Are you a entrepreneur on the grill with ribs?
Actually, I cheat. I use a pressure cooker.
Hey, as long as they taste good, right?
Yeah, they fall off the bone every time. I'm not really a master of the grill yet. I have one, like a charcoal one. I can do burgers and skewers and stuff like that. Things that are don't take too much skill yet, but that's one that I would like to get better at.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be down all fight weekend long. We might have to catch up, and I'll throw you some recipes and
Yeah,
things to
you
see
come
if they
along, that'd
work
be great.
out afterwards. All right. I'll follow up on those and see how they're doing too.
Please do.
All right. Question number two. It's a two-part question. So, favorite music for one to work out, to train, to get ready to fight, and for two, kind of just rolling down the street, chilling on the couch, in your offset mode.
Okay, so this is gonna be funny. When I'm training, I listen to girly, dancey, Lady Gaga, Dua Lipa, like club, but that kind of music because I like to keep the pace up and the rhythm with that. But if
Uh-huh.
I'm just chilling, I'm really into like reggaeton music, like Bad Bunny, Mike Towers, like Latino hip hop. That's
Okay.
pretty much my favorite right now. But don't get it twisted. I came up completely punk rock. I was in a band in high school. We did a lot of shows and DIY stuff. I've got homemade tattoos, and well, I came up very punk rock. But yeah, right now the Latino trap's got me.
All right. All right. He's like that Latino trap. Question number three. Here's the hardest one out of them all. So, out of all those MMA fighters that have went down in history, what is Jonathan Griffin's top three pound for pound MMA fighters ever to step foot in the octagon, the cage? Doesn't matter promotion, but who is your top three pound for pound MMA fighters?
Okay, so number three would probably be Anderson Silva because he's has the longest win streak and the most title defenses. And but I only have him at number 3 because he did all of his championship work at an only one weight class. Number 2, I would have to say BJ Penn. BJ
Nice.
Penn was a multiple weight class champion way before Conor McGregor, way before everybody. BJ Penn went up and fought Lyoto Machida at heavyweight. BJ Penn was the original gangster weight fighter, the way Chael Sonnen talks about it. And yeah, I know he kept his maybe stayed in a little too long and tarnished his career a bit, but you can't take away those like epic champions. He choked Mac Hughes. He won the title at 55. So BJ Penn, but yeah, BJ Anderson Silva number 3, BJ Penn number 2, and number 1 goes to George St. Pierre. Hands down, GSP, the greatest wrestler to ever compete in mixed martial arts, the most takedowns, never wrestled ever a single round in high school or college. He left the sport for 4 years, came back, won a title that's one weight class above his own weight class.
Hmm.
Uh, I think he could come back and beat Khabib. I think GSP is by far GSP. George St. Pierre is my goat of all time, number 1.
All right. So would you say that that was who your idol was in this sport, kind of to get into it?
Actually, to get into it was Lyoto Machida.
All
Lyoto
right.
Machida. I don't have him in my top 3, but he's number 4. If there was a number 4, Lyoto Machida, specifically his fight versus Rashad Evans is the one where I was like, that was beautiful. That's what I would do. He didn't get touched in the fight. He
Mhm.
moved and set the trap so perfectly, blitzed him with the left hand and put Rashad Evans down, who was undefeated, starching everybody. And it was the perfect display of martial arts for me because you got like the powerful wrestler brawler Rashad Evans versus this precision striker like Machida. And to me, that was beauty.
Nice. I like it. I liked Machida. I liked him. It was good. All right. There you
Uh,
go. Jonathan Griffin getting ready to take on in the featured fight of the night down at the very first ever Southern Indiana Combat Productions in the beginning down at the Evansville Veterans Coliseum against Hussein Hmood, October 22nd. Jonathan, here's your time. Friends, family, haters, lovers, sponsors, anything you got to shout out, the floor is yours, brother.
Everybody in Indianapolis, Indiana, come check out our new location, Circle City Martial Arts at 1202 North Illinois Street. We just opened up, brand new spot. There's enough room for everybody. We have enough mat space. We have a boxing area. We have an MMA spot. We have everything you need right in the middle of the city. It's just off the I-65 exit. Come see us, Circle City Martial Arts.
Nice.
And don't forget to check out our other guys that are fighting on a different card October 8th, Logan Chavez and James Fritz. They'll be competing in MMA October 8th down in Sullivan, Indiana. So I'll be there for that, cornering them. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on for us and our team. Everybody check us out. Follow us on social media at mine is at John Griffin MMA, which you can see right here on your screen. From there, you'll be able to find all of our other ones: Circle City Martial Arts, 10th Planet Indianapolis, and Bang Muay Thai Indy.
Boom. I got to make my way down to the new spot. I got to come check you guys out here soon, very
Yeah, I
soon.
mean, come check it out. It's beautiful. I love it so much.
Nice. And you
I have.
guys
If
like
you've been, I don't know if
literally
you've been watching
just
my
this week
stories, but
moved in there, didn't you?
yes, we moved in last Saturday and we opened Thursday. So we finished. Well, we're not finished, but it's still got to be pretty, but it's
Right.
looking pretty good now.
There you go. All right. Jonathan Griffin, thank you for joining me and BW Sports One here on Combat Zone. We cannot wait to see you take on Hussein down in Evansville, October 22nd for the inaugural Southern Indiana Combat Productions in the beginning. Jonathan, thank you again for coming out. I can't wait to see you at the weigh-ins. We'll have to catch up with each other then. And until next time, we'll see you all then. Peace.